Hey friends. Okay, so this is part 8, our final episode or final episode in the series of our sugar craving series. So today we are talking about the missing connection. The more often that we can connect what you eat to how you feel to your end goal, the easier it will become to make different choices. I promise. This simple equation is so powerful, and the more often we think about our current actions and our future goals, we can shorten the distance between those two, right? If we stay very connected to them and conscious of like, hey, I'm driving for this. This is what I'm going for. This is what's really important to me. I need to keep this front of mind. It makes it a little bit easier. It also helps us slow down. So when we're kind of in the heat of the moment, when we have that craving, you're like, all you think about is like, I want the cookie, I want the cookie, I want the cookie. It's like, whoa, pause. If I'm really hungry, I can have it in like a minute, but just let's wait. Like, will this action right now help me feel better in 5 minutes, in an hour, in 5 hours, whatever? So one of the things I like my clients to do is ask themselves, what would future you do? So if you're in the moment and really like feeling some like strong angst about, I really don't want to do this. I know I should have, but I really don't want to do this. One, think of yourself as your best friend, right? So like if you're really trying to help your best friend achieve a goal, what would they need to be doing? Do that for yourself, right? So think about future me. If I have a presentation in a couple hours, like I really probably shouldn't have this giant piece of cake because I'm going to fall asleep. Or for me, because I've thought about this equation several times, if I eat this, I feel this way, will this help my end goal for that, time period? And for me, I love food. I like sweets. I love baked goods. Like they're so delicious. I find I get a lot of enjoyment out of them. But I've also noticed a lot of anxiety around it. And the more I notice that, the more I pay attention, the more negative things I notice from those actions. And then it just becomes less and less valuable as an experience. Not that I don't enjoy it occasionally, but you get a little bit more strategic about when I'm going to indulge and enjoy that. So for instance, like love a cake, piece of cake from this certain place, carrot cake, delicious, but it's a lot of sugar. It's gluten and dairy free, but it's a lot of sugar. So that high carb intake, high sugar intake gives me a lot of anxiety, gives me really poor sleep, causes some bloating, some digestive upset. And 90% of the time, it's not worth it. 10%, hell yeah, sign me up. I'm going hard. Like, let's enjoy it. But because I've made that connection over and over again, it gets easier to kind of mitigate those situations. And I know to slow it down, like, okay, is this a really good choice for me right now? Will I feel good about this decision in an hour and 2 hours tomorrow, based on what I have to do? If I don't have to perform or be super like mentally, on top of my game, yeah, sure, let's enjoy it. I can deal with those that side effect, right? And same thing, it doesn't necessarily have to be something obvious like a big pile of dessert. It could be just a poorly balanced meal. If I have a poorly balanced meal, I might be hungry really soon, and I really need to be, focused on work. So I really need to avoid that. I really don't want to have any bloating or digestive upsets if I have this event later, or I need to be energetic. I really don't want to be irritable, anything like that. So starting to make the connections from I have this meal, I consume this, I do these things, to this is how I feel, and does that align with my goals? Having that simple 3-part equation front of mind can really shorten the distance from what your current actions are to your eventual goal. And I say goal as in it could be today, tomorrow, 6 months from now, whatever it is. This allows you to make the choice of what you want to consume, and if it's a good fit. So only you can decide this, by the way. Don't think that I'm always going to tell you never to have the cookie or never to have the piece of cake. It's totally dependent on the situation. Sometimes being overly restrictive is not going to be healthy mentally. So only you can make that decision based on how you feel in the moment and what you have coming up. So a couple ways that I like to help my clients think through this is what future you would do. So ask yourself, Allie's got this tomorrow. What would Allie tomorrow really appreciate today Allie doing for her? And that way it kind of puts it in another person. And I think we're always usually better at taking care of someone else than ourselves in that present moment. So you can think about it in that terms. Another one is, what situation are you in? Is game day tomorrow? Is it a super important day for you? Quite often a goal that is very tangible or a situation that's very close by is more motivating than like, I want to lose 30 pounds in 6 months. You're like, I got 6 months to achieve that, versus like, I shouldn't eat this tomorrow because I'm going to crap my pants at this really important event. that's probably a little bit more motivating than I want to lose 30 pounds in 6 months, right? That's way far out. That's not really super close to home at the moment. So, and this is also the benefit of reducing or eliminating some of these foods that we are overly reliant on. So a lot of high sugar or things that we crave, because then we get to really associate, or not associate, but assess the situation or relationship we have with those things. And for me, a lot of like sugary sweets have become like protein bars, because protein bars are like chocolate, peanut butter. They're delicious, right? They taste really good. So every now and then I like to kind of assess what I'm eating and what I'm doing on a regular basis to see if I'm becoming reliant on it, or if I can take it out and it not be that big of a deal. So I encourage you to do that as well. This is, hopefully giving you a lot of tools to better combat those sugar cravings and hopefully reassess that relationship. How are you using these things? We can adjust what we're eating when we're kind of help you work through those sugar cravings. But at the end of the day, it gives you more information so you can make your own decision. Like I said, it's not always about being overly restrictive and never having the piece of cake. Sometimes it's healthy to have a piece of cake, but that's a decision that you have to make. So hopefully this was helpful, but don't forget about this little missing connection. Connect what you eat to how you feel to the goals that you have in mind for yourself. Hopefully this helps, and I will talk to you soon.